Before floss, before fluoride, and before that high-pitched dental drill that sounds like a mosquito with a vendetta, humans still had teeth and a lot of pain. With no dentists, no painkillers, and no idea what bacteria were, most of history was basically dental freestyle. Some civilizations figured out clever ways to clean their teeth. Others pulled them out in public like a street performance. This is a global history of dental care, full of pain, pee, jade, and chew sticks. Let's sink our teeth into it. In ancient China, people were brushing their teeth as early as the 7th century, using powders made from salt, mint, and ginseng. By the time of the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 AD, they were rinsing with vinegar or green tea, using acupuncture for toothaches, and even installing gold tooth caps. Yes, gold, because nothing says healthy gums like imperial bling. Archaeologists have found evidence of intricate dental work in royal tombs, far more advanced than what Europeans were doing for another 1,000 years. In India, Ayurvedic medicine, dating back to at least 600 BCE, placed huge importance on daily dental hygiene. Ancient medical texts like the Sushruta Samhita described tooth extractions, gum disease treatments, and herbal rinses. People used neem twigs, which naturally fight bacteria, as toothbrushes. They also practiced oil pulling, swishing sesame or coconut oil in their mouths to draw out toxins. This method was rediscovered by wellness bloggers thousands of years later, rebranded and sold with a $20 price tag. Across Africa, people used chew sticks from the Salvadora persica tree, better known as the toothbrush tree. These sticks contained natural fluoride and antiseptics, and they worked so well that the World Health Organization still recommends them today. People in some African communities also filed, shaped, or decorated their teeth as part of their cultural identity. So yes, they had better oral hygiene and better fashion sense than most of medieval Europe. In pre-Columbian America, civilizations like the Maya and Aztecs took dental modification to the next level. Between 600 and 1000 AD, they used hand drills, powered by string and stone, to inlay their teeth with jade, turquoise, and pyrite. These weren't for fixing cavities, they were for showing off. And here's the kicker, the drilling rarely damaged the surrounding tooth. Their diets, low in sugar and high in fiber, also meant fewer cavities. And when toothaches did happen, they chewed coca leaves, which numbed the pain naturally. Now let's turn to medieval Europe, between 500 and 1500 AD, where dental care was less health science and more medieval torture hobby. Most people cleaned their teeth, if at all, by rubbing their gums with ash, crushed bones, salt, or burnt bread. If they wanted to get fancy, they used soot or vinegar. And yes, urine was used as a mouth rinse, not just in ancient Rome, but occasionally in medieval Europe too. It contained ammonia, which made it a surprisingly effective cleaner, just not a popular one at dinner parties. Even royalty had a rough time. Queen Elizabeth I of England, 1533 to 1603, had a serious sugar addiction and ended up with black, rotting teeth. After a particularly painful extraction, she refused any further dental treatment. Her courtiers, ever eager to flatter her, blackened their own teeth with soot to match. Yes, dental decay became a fashion statement. In France, King Louis IX, 1214 to 1270, was considered extremely clean for bathing once a week. That hygiene routine included basic tooth cleaning with cloths, salt, or herbs. But things went downhill in the 14th century when doctors started warning that bathing could open the pores to disease, especially during plague outbreaks. The result? People stopped washing, and dental care took a nosedive with it. Tooth pain? You went to a barber surgeon, a man who could cut your hair, drain your blood, and yank out your molars, all using the same tools. There was no anesthesia, no sterilization, and a very high chance of dying from an infection. If a dental abscess spread into your bloodstream, it could lead to sepsis. and death was slow, gruesome, and completely avoidable. Let's just say you didn't lose a tooth, you lost your weekend, and possibly your life. So, when did things start getting better? In 1728, French surgeon Pierre Fauchard published a book called Le Chirurgien Dentiste, or The Surgeon Dentist. This marked the official birth of modern dentistry. Let's be clear, though. Modern in 1728 still meant no anesthesia and pliers that looked like blacksmith tools. But Fauchard revolutionized the field by promoting the use of fillings, designing actual dental instruments, and explaining that sugar causes cavities, a radical idea at the time. He also introduced early ideas of orthodontics, using wires to straighten teeth. He didn't invent the dental chair, but he gave people a reason to sit in one. Medical records from medieval times are sparse, but later figures give us clearer examples of just how brutal dental problems could be. George Washington, 1732 to 1799, the first U.S. president, had famously terrible teeth. By 1789, when he took office, he had only one natural tooth left. He wore painful dentures made from ivory, metal springs, and even human teeth, none of which fit well. They distorted his face, made speaking difficult, and caused him constant discomfort. It's said he rarely smiled in portraits, not because he wasn't proud, but because it simply hurt to do so. Sigmund Freud, 1856 to 1939, the father of psychoanalysis, developed oral cancer, likely from decades of cigar smoking. He endured over 30 surgeries, wore a painful prosthetic he called the monster, and suffered constant infections. Eventually, the pain became so unbearable that he asked his doctor to end his life, which he did using morphine. Freud could unlock the mind, but he couldn't escape dental pain. During the 18th and 19th centuries, tooth loss was so common that dentures became big business, sometimes disturbingly so. At one point, real human teeth were in such high demand for dentures that people were looting corpses from battlefields. After the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, scavengers pulled thousands of teeth from dead soldiers. These were cleaned, sorted, and mounted into ivory or metal plates. They were sold across Europe as Waterloo teeth, an elegant name for what was essentially grave robbing in the name of oral beauty. If you died young with good teeth in the 1800s, there was a decent chance your smile lived on at a royal banquet. With all this demand and a fair amount of horror, it became clear that dentistry needed rules. In 1878, the United Kingdom passed the Dentists Act, which officially regulated who could call themselves a dentist. No more barbers moonlighting as tooth pullers or street vendors offering extractions by the cartload. The act created the first dental register, making dentistry a licensed medical profession. It was a turning point. Dental care began shifting from superstition and salesmanship to science. Stories like Freud's and Beethoven's show just how brutal dental suffering could be, even in the modern age. But thankfully, things didn't stay that way. From the 18th century onward, dentistry began to evolve from agony to actual science. From there, dentistry picked up speed. In 1840, the first dental school opened in Baltimore. By the 1890s, toothpaste came in tubes, replacing messy powders. The 20th century brought us fluoride, X-rays, Novocaine, and braces. By the 1950s, regular dental checkups were common, though no one liked them, even then. Today, dentistry is smarter, safer, and way more high-tech. Researchers are developing stem cell treatments to regrow damaged teeth. There are gels that rebuild enamel, and even vaccines in development to prevent cavities by targeting bacteria. Artificial intelligence is being used to scan dental X-rays more accurately than humans. And yes, 3D printed teeth are now a thing, custom fit and ready in a day. So if you hate going to the dentist now, just be glad you're not being treated by a guy who also trims beards and sharpens swords. Now you know. That's a fact you can keep. Like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What should we break down next? Until our next session, class dismissed.